And award-winning Edinburgh Fringe Festival comedy magician Paul Dabek are some of the international artists that will headline the 13th edition of the Jive Cape Town Funny Festival. The festival kicked off on the 10th of July and runs until the 10th of August, while local acts include Marc Lottering, Committie, Dalin Oliver, Mel Jones and Loyiso Madinga. To tell us more about this year's event, we are joined from our Sea Point studios by Eddy Cassar, who is the Jive Cape Town Funny Festival owner, producer and artistic director. Very good morning to you, Eddy.
Good morning to you.
Eddy, take us back to the very first Jive Cape Town Funny Festival and what the inspiration behind it was for an event of this nature all those years ago, back in '97, as I understand it.
Yes, it was actually 20 years ago that I put on the first festival. Well, after 1994, there was an explosion of stand-up comedy and stand-up comedians in the country. People were starting to laugh at ourselves. We felt free to talk and speak and tell people how we felt. And the Jive Cape Town Funny Festival was just a platform to offer comedians in the country the opportunity to show off their skills. And it has grown to an international event in that we now invite international artists to share that stage and laugh with us.
Now, looking back now, what do you think and the team did right to ensure that the event is still one of Cape Town's premier comedy festivals?
It's by keeping it fresh. I'm very fortunate that I travel to Edinburgh every year and go to the festival and find out the latest trends. This year I went to a festival in Freiburg in southwest Germany, which is the world's largest variety shop. In the sense that all the big variety acts in Europe who want to work in Europe showcase their acts at this festival, and buyers and producers like myself go there and buy. So I'm always at the. I'd like to think that we're at the top of the trend cycle to see what people are producing and going to Edinburgh and feeling exactly what the arts are doing internationally.
And speaking of keeping it fresh, do you find that, you know, the way that you conduct your research and go out of your way of finding new, fresh talent as well is the main reason that the show attracts new audiences every year?
Yeah, yes, and what we have found is that we have many funny festival fanatics who have come to years and years and years of funny festival and just enjoy the quality of the show and the caliber of the artist. And it's Cape Town's winter comedic tonic. And yeah, we're just very fortunate that we've kept that standard and people have put it into their repertoire and visit us every year.
And speaking of that high caliber, speak to us about the comedians that will headline this year's festival, as well as some of the international performers.
Well, in Cape Town, there is no better comic that paints Cape Town pictures with his words than Marc Lottering. Marc is from the Cape Flats. He lives the Cape Flats, and the way that he portrays the Cape Flats on stage, he paints pictures with his words. He's a magnificent artist. Committie is possibly the best master of ceremonies in the country. Many top international artists have told me that how Alan gets the audience warm for each act, and that a stage is never as prepared as he prepares. There is so much comedy happening in Johannesburg that Cape Town doesn't know about, that it is important to showcase. Just the work of Dumiso Lindi and Loyiso Madinga are just two examples. There are many more. Women are represented by Mel Jones, a fantastic local Cape Town act, and I've asked Dalin Oliver, who's a young guy starting off. Teachers make very good performers because they perform in the classroom every day, and he's an ex-teacher and now gone into comedy. So it's a smorgasbord of local stand-up that meets international variety acts on one gala stage for a whole month.
And very quickly, Eddie, I mean, the Cape Town Funny Festival has really become a favorite fundraiser for many local schools and clubs. Won't you quickly tell us about that?
It has. By virtue of the fact that we run for a month, we offer generous discounts for large bulk bookings. So there are many charities and many clubs and social clubs that and sports clubs that buy tickets in bulk, sell them on at full price, and make money that way. And people know it's in winter, it's uncluttered, there's not much competition, and people know it's always a good night out. So it's worked that way, and it's just continued to grow and grow and grow.
All right, fantastic. That's Eddy Cassar, the Jive Cape Town Funny Festival owner, producer and artistic director, promising all of us a great laugh when we do go to the festival. Time for us to take a quick break. We'll be back with more after this.
Rights and recourse tackles constitutional issues.
When South Africa became a constitutional democracy, we had a fairly sound legal system in place requiring the constitution to guide the direction in which it must go and the way in which it must be refashioned.
The Justice Ministry, the custodian of human rights.
We actually have a plan to come up with a comprehensive review of our human rights instruments.
Advocates dealing with evidence.
Sometimes you have to use a crook to catch a crook. So we expected that their credibility would really be taken to task. You try and consult your witnesses and prepare them as best as you can.
Hashtag Rights with Dumila Matez on legal issues every Sunday at 2 o'clock Central African Time.
Africa is getting more and more digitized, and people have to navigate through an increasingly connected world.
I did a call my bay over here.
At school, I use my Wi-Fi.
On Network, we tell you about Africa's technology and social media landscape.
Politicians already do use Twitter a lot.
It's both Android and iOS compatible.
A solar charged box that includes everything, the computer, the projector.
That's Network with Ms. Phumelele Zondi every Sunday at 9 p.m.
What guides us? What leads us forward? Is it the words of our sacred texts? Is it the actions of our people? Or the voices of our citizens? Your country is guided by the voices of its people, and your broadcaster is dependent on your voice to guide it. Get your copy of the SABC's editorial policy and have your say.
Welcome back.